Okay, everyone. Hello. Welcome in. This is an Updatisode. I know it's been a long time, but this is an important one. We haven't chatted like this in a while, and that's on me. I know, it's on me. Life's been full, busy in the best and hardest ways, but that's how it goes, and I'm happy about it. But before we start this next book, I wanted to take a moment and talk with you because these books, are the reason this whole podcast exists in the first place. As I'm recording this, talking to you right now, I've already finished recording our final chapter of the Thran and the first three chapters of Invasion. Um, what you're about to hear. And honestly, I could not be more excited. We're going back into this story, absolutely reignited the original spark, the joy, the scale, the feeling of, oh, yeah, this is why I love these so much. And these are the Invasion Cycle books. And they were the very first magic novels that I ever read. And when I first read them, it was so different, a different phase of my understanding of the story, the characters, what all of this was really building toward. So you jump right into this, and I don't know who anyone is, but I'm just enjoying the story. And now coming back to them with everything that we've read together, it feels completely different, way better, deeper, like heavier, so good. Like this is why we've been doing this whole thing to get to this point. Um, and we're here. And it's been a while since we talked about, why this podcast exists at all and where it came from. So just to rewind a bit, because most of you, if you've made it here, you kind of know the story, but let's recap it, right? It all started when I left the United States to move here to Japan, and we came here to start a business. Ended up starting a family too, and that was like 6 years ago now. But when I left, I left behind my Magic Play group, the guys I used to play with every other weekend, and the group I still wish I could sit down and shuffle up and play, all the unbanned, no bands. You know what I mean? Nothing's banned. What are you talking about? And we play, 60 card decks against each other. None of this Commander. I guess we'd play some Commander too, of course. But, you know, pretty old school. And when you move across the world, you can't exactly bring boxes and boxes of magic cards with you. So I sold a ton of my collection. And as sort of a going away gift, a friend of mine, Mike, Magic Mike, they call him, who runs a magic store, card shop in Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm from, gave me an old stack of magic novels. And, since I couldn't play anymore, I started reading instead and just reading these. And they were so good. And the books we're about to read, these were the ones. These were the stories that pulled me back in. And rereading just the opening chapters again, like I had the same reaction I had years ago. I said, "Oh, man, these are exciting. These are fun books. These are good ones." Of all the books that we've read, the story may not be as grand, but the books are action packed and with fun, great characters. These are exciting books. And, at that time, too, I was coming from a background in radio, television, recording, and I have equipment to be able to do this. And eventually was like, well, if I'm going to read these books, I should just record them as something to do. Because I know there's other people like me out there who have played Magic cards for a long time, don't really know the lore. Where does it come from? Who are these people anyway? And a lot of that changed as things got, online and we got YouTube videos and everything like that. But the books remain a part of history that's, you know, deep, deep cover. And that's why we're doing this. Um, and so, I realized quickly that I couldn't start with these books though, because I didn't know where to start or what this, I know what's happening in this story and what happened during these books, but who are these guys? Where do you start? And that's where the research and diving deep into where are we going to start? Where do we fit this podcast that leads up to what we're about to start? And that was the Brothers War, right? The first recordings before Patreon, before any kind of audience. That was just me reading chapters and trying to understand the bigger picture, filling in the blanks, coming slowly and figuring out that these characters are pretty cool. And because of that, the audience formed and found it, friendships formed, community has grown, and here we are. And over the years, this is a years long journey we've been on together. And just wrapping up the Thran, we've seen the foundations of the world, and we've had a great run up to what is about to happen. And we understand what this massive and looming threat, what it really is, and what created it. And now we're coming back. It's so exciting to characters we said goodbye to for a long time, right? It's been a long time since we get to talk to a couple of guys that start off this book, right? It's so exciting. Um, by the way, I should tell you that there are still characters in these books whose backstories I don't know and haven't covered yet because we skipped the Ice Age as of the recording of this, right? We didn't haven't done that, haven't read those books, and maybe that was a miss on my part. There's characters in here that we need to go through and figure out and see things together, but that's okay. Probably we'll get there. But I remember them. I remember wondering who they were in this book a while ago when I first read it, and still have no idea. But I know they're going to show up, and I'm going to be like, still have no idea about this guy or person or this character, right? But they'll matter when the time is right. What also makes this return so exciting is the this big conflict that we're in, right? They're about to battle, and I think we've talked about it before about J. Robert King, the author, and I think especially in this cycle we drop right into the chaos, um, and he's so good at showcasing that with the prose, and it's so much fun. Like again, you know, it may not be the biggest story arc, but the action is intense and it's fun, and the desperation, the stakes, and you'll hear it almost immediately once we start. It feels alive. We are back and into action right away. And so coming back to this book and knowing that this is wherever we are in the full journey, knowing that this is one of this is the peak of why we started getting here, and we're here. That in itself is exciting. But these books are exciting, and this is why we've been doing this to get here, and now we're here, and we get to enjoy this all together. So again, it's been pure joy getting here, learning these stories and characters, pure joy starting the books again, relearning the voices and trying to reconnect with the characters, smiling while I'm reading scenes that, you know, just make me go, oh boy, there he is. There's the guy, you know. And I haven't really gone back and re-listened to old episodes. I just jumped right in because I don't have a lot. Again, this is nothing new. Don't have a lot of time to spend on what we're doing here, but I just have to do it. But it feels good, and we've been going for like 4 years or something, 3 years. And the fact that you're still here listening, honestly, means more than I can properly say. I'm really incredibly grateful that this has become a meaningful part of my life, and hearing from those of you who have said it's meaningful to you too. And I'm really happy about that. And I'm recording this on January 27th, 2026, and there's a ton going on in the world that's annoying and sad and scary, and um, but and there's a lot going in my life too, right? Parenting is incredibly hard, but incredibly rewarding and fun and exciting at the same time. And running the business is the same. And they're just constant learning curves and adjustments and adapting. And so having this, reading, recording, sharing these stories with you as an outlet, a grounding thing, if you will, a grounding and creative thing, reminds me why I love, you know, the storytelling in itself. Being able to share it with listeners who do reach out, who are hanging out in the Discord, who send messages, even if I don't always respond right away. It means a lot, and I see all of it. I truly do. And even though I don't answer everything, I would love to, but it's just, I'll try it. But this podcast exists because of you in a very real and practical way. I mean, the Patreon too. This is something too that wasn't even my idea originally. It was a listener who said, "Hey, how do I support you to keep doing this?" And that support has continued throughout, and helped me continue and help support my family. And as we're talking about this now, the support that comes in helps pay for my dog, that we had to get rid of the because of incidents with him, and he's got to stay at a pet hotel because we can't live with him anymore because he bites children. Can't have that. Um, but I really do appreciate it, and I'm really grateful and thankful for everything. And I'd love to, and I want to do more. I think I'm getting into a better, more, an easier groove. Like I'm used to what the what it's going to be like as a parent of two and running a business and finding the time where to put it and how to do it. But I want the best for this. I really do. I'd love to have better sound, better production, more polish, and I know that there's room to improve. And you know, I've heard from many of you about music being too loud sometimes, and I know I get it. It is. It happens. It's tough. Every time I unplug and move my laptop somewhere, this thing, changes levels on me, and I gotta adjust it, and I don't spend all the time editing that I probably should, and listening to it, just like, let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? And, for being honest, I probably won't go back and fix old episodes, but I'll keep doing my best going forward. And, like, I like big musical crescendos, by the way. Like, oh, it pumps me up at the end. Oh, yeah, 2.5 minutes of just pumping ass music. Maybe that's just me. Um, what else do I want to say? Like, speaking of the Patreon, I would really appreciate it if any of you who haven't supported, I want to get your ideas about how I could get you to support. Um, so right now it's set up as a pay per creation model, and I aim for 4 chapters a month, and we're sitting at 38 supporters, and I'm incredibly thankful for every single one of them. But I think I can grow it in another way. Um, and maybe more of a subscription style model, something more simple and more consistent, more sustainable long term. So I want to be upfront about that, and where it's like a Twitch subscription or something like that. And we still create and do the chapters as we do them, but maybe it allows other people to jump in and support, and it would allow us to do more things potentially with subscribers. They have, Patreon set up for that kind of um, style of payment versus the way I do it right now. And so, but I don't want to lose anybody. I want to build more, and maybe this will be the starting point of doing that. And so, if you're a supporter now, I ask you to think about it. I'll make some mentions on the Patreon, and try to figure out a way to make it worthwhile. We had a loyalty rewards club a year ago or 2 year, whatever, and there was a short period of time where I was sending out stuff to people, and that was very rewarding for me. And so maybe we can get back into that somehow, some way. But it's an expensive thing to do. But at that time, I was just using the money that was the Patreon was making and giving it back. And then they have other things come up like my dog, um, or travel. Like I want to set goals for what the Patreon can do. So I have a lot of this going on in my head right now, and it's the same thing that I talked about last year at this time, but I do want to do it. Executing it, taking the action of it is something that I haven't done yet, and I want to do. So I want to make that a goal for 2026. Got to lose some weight for 2026. Got to stay off the sauce a little bit in 2026. You know what I mean? We're growing. Growing old, guys. I'm getting older. I gotta be around and hang out with my kids, and you all help with that. And so I'm very thankful and grateful. Um, okay, I'm wondering if there's anything else that I want to get off my chest besides saying thank you. If any of you ever are making a trip out to Japan, I ask you to come and visit me up in Sendai. Come check my place out, have a few beers, some food. It's a very American style place. So like if you're craving that, um, what else? What else? I think that's it. That's all I got. So a big thank you. I'm very excited. I hope you are too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here we are. We have made it to the point where we wanted to make it to. So even that feels good knowing that we started this journey a while ago and we've reached the place that we wanted to get to. And now we're here. So let's enjoy it. Okay? All right. Love you all. Thank you all. Thanks for tuning into this Updatisode. And I think you're going to like the invasion. Cheers.